is up, my family? Man, coming at you as early as I ever have right now, huh? Please throw those A's in the chat if you can hear your boy speak. Let me get those A's in the chat right now. What is up, my team? What is up, everybody? Coming at you live at Power Hour, right? Usually one of those times where I don't like to actually trade. As trading in these times, around these times is really not the best thing, right? Very, very random algorithm. Snowdrifter, what's up? What's up? Make sure to throw those A's in the chat, team. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that I'm actually coming through to your ears clearly, right from my microphone here in Los Angeles, California. What is up, my people? Saying nothing on deck. Only wondering if you can, if you had anything in. Yeah. No, I tend to make the space calls, you know, whenever anyone asks me to do something, right? It's just look at Cryptex saying, "No, Frank, no." It could actually just be me, man. No problem at all. I really do try to help the communities as much as I can, man. So yeah, I'm down. Just let me know, and just let me know in the details, right? And we'll plan something up. I come on these things like randomly, right? The space calls. I don't actually schedule them. I get asked to do them, and then you know, I show up. But Aiden, what's up, man? Good to see you here, man. Let's see. Always making the pain go away. You're saying, yeah, man. I hope so, dude. I hope so. Man, and you're currently studying too. Ooh, boy. Yeah, man, get that study in while we try to get this money here, right? Yeah, everybody, thank you so much for coming by. Already a pretty nice group showing up, right? So these are around the times that I actually want to start kind of merging into, right? As I try to get my son adjusted, my toddler, as I try to get him adjusted back in his normal schedule. But yeah, oh, you know what? Very interesting right now that a lot of people were actually talking about the potential mover of COEP. What the heck is going on? I mean, I think it's actually doing a thing right now. It's been moving up pretty nicely. Let me go ahead and take a look at what it's doing right now. Oh my goodness in heaven, man. And yeah, what the heck? We're supposed to break that dollar point, and it's still not doing it, right? We're gonna take a look into that too. We have to take a look at GTII. We got a few things to look at over here, man. But I think it's a good. And you know what? We can actually go over some of my scans as well. See if we can prep something for tomorrow or whatever. Right, Riza, what's up, man? Good to see you. What you gotta tell me about those? Are those new tickers, man, that you're looking at? I don't know that I saw you post about those. I saw you post about AEHR, I think it was. But what's up with DTC and ZDGE, bro? What's up with those? Oh my goodness in heaven! Look at this. COEP actually trying to make a break out of the broadening descending wedge. What are the technicals looking like? Damn. This thing actually made its run from 104 to 152. Jeez, that's a pretty nice run, man, over just one day. Let me see. Oh no, that's about a week. So 46% gainer in a week, not bad. In the bullish control zone, right? It's about to enter it actually on the daily time frame. This is looking not bad, you guys. This is whatever opportunity was down here, it's already making a lot of sense here. Oh my goodness, yeah. Nice. To whoever is on COEP, this is looking very good for you. Very cool. So what is up, Catfish Ballsy Racing? Good to see you here, man. Yeah, so yeah, let me give that one a quick look, my bro. So you're talking about DTC? Let's see what that is, bro. Let's see what it is, man. But yeah, man, I'm really excited to see the people over here, man. It's just this is definitely a time where I don't usually stream, and I really do hope to start kind of migrating over to this time frame, right? So yeah, so this is the one, right, Riza? So Solo Brands, DTC. What's up with this one, bro? Why are you telling me about it? Let's see. AEHR is a different story. DTC and ZDGE, just in case there's any nice thing I missed. Okay. I like the way you look at stocks. Oh, gotcha. All right. So yeah, thank you, man, for sharing that. So let's just go ahead and take a look. I mean, this thing actually came back down to a really important area of support already. So this zone here has a lot to do with this candle and all of this section here. So that's a pretty good support, man. I'm wondering if it could actually find its bounce from this area here, though. Are you already long this, or what's the deal? Let me load up a couple tools here and see if we can see if we can't get a better perspective out of this, right? So there's still a lot of downside to look at on that daily. That's what I can say. But that could be indicative of a potential entry, right? So let me get rid of these the second volatility and take a look at momentum, right? So oh nice, hold on just a sec. Yeah, dude, this thing could be it looks like it's actually prepping for its upside very, very soon. So if it did find the floor, I would say that floor was 658, or if it retraces back down, we could look at one more zone actually, and that could be at about 637 at the lowest, man. Anything can happen in the markets, right? But this 637 looks like a pretty nice area to kind of get that load in as a secondary loading zone, right? So let me see how it lines up pretty nice. I would actually make just a quick little adjustment to around 630, right? So 630 bounce from this area would be very ideal and a continuation to the upside. It looks like it's already trying to break market structure, right? Look at this, creating a series of higher highs already. We're creating some higher lows too. This is looking good, man. This is looking really good. I'm wondering, I'm wondering if potential get long this ticker soon is actually appropriate. All volatility is actually starting to curve towards the upside, right? So we have a contracting volatility, we have ascending momentum. So this is good, man. This is definitely good. Something is up here, and it looks like it may actually want to prepare for a nice move to the upside. So what's the Fritz Flappy saying GTII is dead? No. This is actually that reaccumulation period that I was talking about, man. So we need to come back to some certain zones to pick up some more bulls, because there's a lot of people out there who haven't had the chance to actually get into GTII, right? So usually when you're looking at what's up, Steven? Yeah, I'm back. So usually when you're looking at a ticker already pumped to the upside pretty significantly, you kind of avoid going into that unless it pulls back, right? There's a lot of people out there who really want to enter based on a discount or whatever, but GTI hasn't necessarily been at a discount in retrospect, like from $9 to here, of course, yeah, right? But from where it was at 47 cents to almost $2, that's kind of frothy. It's kind of up there. So people are going to want to wait for that pullback and get long from a better valuation, right? And a lot of people, to be very honest with you, there could be some huge order blocks within that area of about, I would say, 107 to around 118 within that zone. Very likely we can actually see some type of a bounce, right? So let me look at that one too for you, bro. So that's a ZDGE. Let's see what it's got. So Zedge, and that's a nicey. Nice, not bad. Let me get that daily perspective, right? Because the markets are still open. This is so cool. I get to see it while it's open. Oh my goodness, man. So daily perspective is looking not bad. In fact, I already see the formation kind of developing here, and it's very much a potential that we're at a huge resistance right now. Let me see. It actually looks like it's trying to make its break, and that would be very, very nice. Okay, so let me just adjust my trend line here for you, man, and see what it's really got for us, right? So yeah, something like this here. It looks like a broadening descending wedge. A lot of these formations, man, on the upper time frames, especially around a bear market cycle, right? So golden rule of 3 looks like it's meeting pretty nicely, right? The true breakout could have already been happening, but it's just consolidating like freaking crazy, right? So actually, let's see what the volume is. So this is a very, very slow mover. You're looking at 34,000 on a volume, right? So shares traded within a 10-day period. So this thing, I guess it could make parabolic runs, but it's kind of hard to tell when it's going to do something like this, right? Because it's such a slow mover. But regarding our tools, let me see the earlier time frames, right? So really early time frames. It had some good movement today. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, it looks like it's already up, right? So that could be indicative of a continuation, there are a few other iterations that actually make those candles, right? So this thing is still kind of barcoding though. There is already a nice signal to the upside here. We're actually increasing volatility, so that's not bad. The buy hourly, potential continuation to the upside, very small pivot. What we want to see is actually the shorter time frames kind of bleed into the later time frames, right? So if you have the shorter time frames with a small upside pivot or with a little bit of a larger upside pivot, this can influence the later time frames to that upside as well, right? So 4 hour, very important cross of that RSI upside of that 14-day symbol. That's cool, man. And it's actually trying to break upside of the critical volatility zone. So let's look at the 8 hour. Yeah, man, this one too. This one looks like it has a pretty nice potential. Not only that, it looks like it's actually at the resistance of a falling wedge right over here, right? That's usually indicative of a continuation to the upside. In this case, the falling wedge would actually suggest the top side of about 222. I'm not sure if it can continue way above the 222 area, at least from my perspective right now, without back testing it or backing it, you know? But yeah, I really do think that it has a pretty nice upside, especially over the next. It needs to, all of the time frames. They kind of need to continue stacking. So if it doesn't happen Tuesday, then we could potentially get a pretty nice move to the upside by Wednesday or Thursday or something, dude. So yeah, that's not bad. I'm really liking where it's sitting, man. And look at this, freaking COEP still going. It's at 152 now. Oh my goodness, man, that is awesome. MHH was actually one of those other tickers that I was looking at too, right? So continuing to the upside there as well. And yeah, so it actually looks like we were consolidating a bit. We haven't moved beyond that zone of about 404 and on the SPY, right? So we're balanced at around 412 to 410. That's really interesting. What's kind of worrying me here, actually, no, not a. It's we're building a bullish formation, but within this bullish formation, there is kind of a drop, and that would be indicative of about 393, right? So I'm not sure if that can happen soon, but that it's trying to build like an ascending triangle here, right? And that's usually a pretty bullish signal, macro perspective. Also, the fact that we're on the 5-day, this is going to take an eternity to complete, right? So saying, what about NVOS? What is up about NVOS, man? I remember, actually, you know what? I did look at NVOS as a whole play. And that was just a kind of like a day trade, a scalper, right? So, but yeah, let's see what's up with it real quick, right? I wanna before the market closes, I definitely want to scan something and see if any potentials are there. Oh, okay, so damn, this thing actually ended up meeting all the damn targets to the upside. It had more thrust than I thought. Is this one? Is this? So, what's up, Destiny? Good to see you here. I don't know if you guys are actually familiar so much with NVOS, but is this one of those meme tickers too? Is this one of those tickers that we have lots of shorts and stuff? Is there a lot of speculation between this? I don't know too much about NVOS other than the fact that I just kind of put it together as a play. And I wasn't sure exactly what was going down with this. But yeah, so Cryptic Trader is saying, yeah, this is kind of a meme play, right? So, I mean, already in the 12-hour time frame, this is looking pretty good, actually. So let me go back to the immediate short-term time frame and see what it is. So Cryptic Trader is saying, is an avid pump? No way, is it really? I actually came up with a play before he started talking about it. I think, or I don't know, actually, I put it up as just one of the Arca scans plays. Yeah, it's so. Daniel's saying that he did call it out too. So to my knowledge, I think I put it up as just Arca scans, and I didn't actually promote it as NVOS, right? So that was last week Monday or Tuesday, one of those plays, right? But it did meet our upside, but I wasn't looking at a continuation to the upside like this. This is very nice. So yeah, so immediate short-term time frame looking like we could have a potential downside to don't think it was enough pump to do much. I mean, yeah, because this thing looks like it's been going to the upside since April 25th, right? So it's actually been on a gradual incline, which is very good for an asset, actually. So not bad at all. But Daniel, that's a way to be super honest, right, man? Damn, dude, I don't even think I could honestly have that kind of pump or that kind of power to be completely clear with you. I really doubt that I can do that. But you'd be surprised, right? But I'm not willing to find out, man. That's it's kind of illegal to pump any stocks in the first place, right? We don't want to do that kind of stuff, man. Damn, COEP just moved another cent up. Jeez, that thing is at 153 now, really making its presence here. Oh my goodness, lots of people were wondering what the heck happened to that play, right? Because it kind of capitulated to the ground. But yeah, so NVOS, let's go ahead and continue here. So let's see what the buy hourly has for us. So, oh man, that looks really good. So buy hourly, okay, getting a little frothy over here, a little overextended. There could be a short-term pullback. Already getting some of those signals on the buy hourly candles, right? So please look at when you start to see these wicks to the upside. Especially larger and larger ones, that usually is indicative of kind of a pullback here, and it would be pretty healthy for the asset to do that, right? In respects of this massive upside run already. I mean, look at today. Damn, that's just a parabolic move. It's looking really nice. And I'm not even sure of why this is happening, but I wonder if this is some type of short covering before they open up again at around the range of about, I'd say, 2198 to about 2459. That could be a very interesting zone. So as long as we are beneath the area of about 2506, in reality, the next step would actually be around I would say 27 to around 32, right? But as long as we are beneath that 25-cent zone, then this kind of belongs to the bears a little bit, and we have to be very careful, especially when we're reaching up the area of about 3271, as there could be a serious liquidity trap or bull trap kind of put there, right? So right around the 3248, that can be an area to where the bulls could lose steam. So we have to be very, very careful when we're there, right? So only Lou has that power, says Cryptic Trader. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, I'm down to look at Mullen too, right? You guys, is no problem at all. So let's see. Viri just hit 89. Oh man, I actually would love for it to go to 81, because 81 cents would be a very nice area for this thing to really get some accumulation here. So let me see if it actually still, yeah, around that 81 to about 85 cents. It would be amazing to get a real good boost right there from all the bulls entering, and then get this thing to officially penetrate that $1 and start making those higher highs, right? So we have that 145 already touched nicely. But as soon as we beat that 145, we can close at least a 4-hour candle upside of the 145. That could be a very nice slide up to the upside. Similar to what CXAI did, right? So very, very similar situation here on VIRI. So yeah, as far as NVOS, you guys, it looks like there could be a pullback soon, but this thing is still kind of thrusting, man. The pullback could happen over the next day or two, and I don't see this as being like a major pullback, but I mean, there is a clear line of regression here, right? So it looks like we are trying to kind of combat that. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Something like this. And in fact, we can actually take it from this bottom trend line here, right about here, and we could be in the process of making a serious like new support touch. I just wouldn't like for us to come back to 14 cents. That would be invalidation for an upside. But NVOS looking still really good. But probably, not financial advice, but probably don't try to enter this right now. It's a little too frothy. You want to wait for the pullback and get long this ticker, right? So hold on just a sec, you guys. So yeah, let me go ahead and take a look at those stickers. We're gonna look at Mullen too, right? But I want to actually go over what a potential mover could be for tomorrow, right, you guys? So this is the way we'll do it. Let's start a new chart, and let's go ahead and pull up our scanner and see what the potentials are for the next day. If you guys are curious to see how I scan, then you can you can bear witness right over here, right, you guys? So I tend to keep things very simple. In fact, this is the way I teach my master students, and just recently, actually, right? So I don't need an awesome oscillator. I don't need a commodity channel. I don't need MACD. I don't need momentum. And these are all things that I actually look at in indicators, right? Volatility, momentum, mass. I look at all kinds of stuff like that. But I usually don't use them when I'm scanning the markets, right? So as they don't play a vital role for me to get, for me to buy the market or short the market. So what does play a role for me is actually the price, which has a lot to do with the current market cap and float, right? So things like that, right? So, and then what I end up keeping is the average directional index, your average true range for volatility. You have your RSI and your price, right? So those are generally the things that I tend to look at, right? So as far as the ADX, I would like to actually see a cross up of about 18% ADX. The average true range, if we can get at least if we can get some type of volatility in here, right? So meaning that if we can get at least at the very minimum 70 cents on a 14-day period or a 10-day period of movement, that would be nice, right? So now on the crosses for the RSI, I tend to look at the 28% or 30%. So yeah, in this case, it looks like we're just gonna have to use the 30. We're not getting anything at that. Or man, let's see below. Let's see above or equal 30. Then let's do that one. Let's just see what we have. And in the price, we can keep it cheap, right? We don't have to get too crazy up in here. So an average true range of 0.7. So yeah. So that's what we've been taking a look at that one too, buddy. Right over here, right? So we're noticing and we're keeping an eye on it. It's looking very nice still with a massive upside to go in the bullish control zone right now. This is in the gravitational zone of the bull weakness percentile. Very likely for it to get pulled to the upside. In fact, let's see, upside targets to kind of look at. There is a resistance at about 159, right? Before we can pull back and then start validating this newly converted resistance into a support before a continuation onto the upside, right? So we have to eyeball that 159 to see if we can actually combat it and get through it, right? So this is looking pretty good. Another reason here is that we are breaking upside of a descending channel, right? And I do have to say that breaking outside of this descending channel is a little premature, right? That's what I would say. So if there is if there is any type of note here to take, is that to minimize risk or minimize position, then around that area of about 155 to about 159 could be a zone to kind of like remove some risk from the table and then get back into the play at a later time, right? Because there is going to be a serious inflection zone there. So this is already reaching a high of 153. We're talking about 155 to 159, right? So and then after this resistance here, we validate this, and then we then look at the price action and see if we can continue on to that upside, right? So yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and continue this, guys, and you'll just see how I kind of put it down, right? So let me do a cross up of the 28% relative. Oh, wait, we were already there. We were doing the 30, right? So, okay, sorry, I'm just losing where I am. Okay, you guys. So let me do above or equal 30. And the price, we said we were going to leave this as, not so expensive, right? So let's look at for things under, let's just say $13, right? And it looks like we already have some potential movers for tomorrow. So when I do get this, when I do get the results like this, I usually end up getting very little results, right? So guys, Carvana, don't try to get in that right now, okay? That's a little, it's way too frothy. All right, so already noticing a very important touch here on the GDYN. Looking at this ticker, you already have a huge bearish engulfing. 20 minutes to that close. There could be a further continuation to the downside here, but as you can see, historically speaking, the only other accumulation period would be 801, right? So, or the space between about 832 and 801. So what I usually do here is I already have some of those tools up, right? Like volatility, I'll have it present. It's already maxing out at the daily, so that's looking pretty good, right? So let me just go ahead and leave that at the top. We'll load up momentum and see what else we have, right? So this is how I come up with my plays for the next day. or prep for them, right? So I want to see if the shorter time frames have the potential or have the thrust to correct our pivots from the stochastic momentum here on the daily. So let's go ahead and load up our RSI as well. I know it's a little redundant to have two types of momentum, but remember that RSI is also considered trend. So let's go ahead and put it at the 30-minute immediate short term and see what we have. Okay, so at least this it looks like one massive kind of a dead cat bounce here, but it is on the shorter time frames. It's only visible from let me see the 6 hour. Yeah, maybe visible from actually the bi-hourly. There we go. And it looks like it's already kind of trying to find a floor, right? So again, that floor being around that 820 to around 836. So let's just go ahead and keep on looking at this, right? So let's see the 4 hour momentum and 6 hour momentum. I want to start getting a pitch to the upside somewhere, right? So this is already not looking so juicy. It doesn't look like it can actually correct soon enough. Also, the average true range here, I'm sorry, the average volume is at around 519,000. Is a little bit of a slow mover too, right? The float is sitting at about 52 million, and the market cap is sitting at it's actually pretty nice, the market cap, 635 mil, right? So it's still high risk. It's not the biggest high risk in the world, but let's move on. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ticker symbol SPWR. And this one already is showing some signs of life, right? We have critical volatility at the top, right? Maxed out volatility. We have upside pivots here on the 8 hour stoke. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for, right? But I do want to see it bleed in from the shorter time frames as well. So starting off with the 30-minute and the hourly, hopefully all the way up to the bi-hourly, I would like to see a downside. Why would I like to see a downside? Is because that would be our opportunity to kind of get long the market, right? So or open long, right? So let's go ahead and see just some immediate short-term time frames, right? So yeah, in the hourly, it's showing like we could already find support on that RSI. All right, so bi-hourly, let's see if we have that final support. Actually, it's the hourly. Nice. So the hourly time frame is showing us that we may find that support real soon, right? And please notice here on the bi-hourly time frame, we have the leading indicator, 3-day exponential moving average, suggesting a continuation to the upside from a very important zone. This is the bullish control zone here, right? And this is a pretty significant pivot to the upside. This is already looking like a pretty nice play. All right, so let's go to the 4 hour time frame and see what we got. Upside pivot on the 4 hour, critical volatility contracting, upside pivot, and beyond the 14-day simple. This is good. This is good. This is literally going to be an Arca scans play. 6 hour time frame. Please notice that we're literally making that cross upside of the 14-day simple moving average right here. So that's looking really nice as well. The 8 hour, we already saw it. We're potentially going to make that cross on the RSI, especially because we are approaching the gravitational zone of the bull strength percentile, right? This could lead to an upside here, you guys. So that's not bad at all. So SPWR, I have my eyes on this one here. This could actually make a pretty nice move to the upside. 12 hour already finding that curvature here. We're starting to actually contract. As soon as we start moving below that moving average here, the contraction phase would officially start. Upside pivot on that stoke with an upside pivot very near that gravitational zone. Very likely we can actually see an upside on this. And it doesn't look to be a violent upside, but it looks to be a very gradual upside. And that's honestly something that I am looking at. So this is worth putting onto the evaluations list, right? So I'm going to leave it right at the top of the list and see what else we have, right? So good deal. Let's go ahead and look at the last ticker, because I really wouldn't enter Carvana, right? So I wouldn't do that, guys. It's just that one's been moving up and up and up and up and up. You wanna enter those trades when they're at the bottom, right? So now ticker symbol, what is this right here? Pro Kidney, right? So PROK. Let's take a look at the immediate short-term time frame. It's already meeting the criteria, right? We want the downside. We're at critical volatility down here. So let's look at the bi-hourly. The bi-hourly is still suggesting a massive upside. Interesting. So let's see the hourly. Okay, the hourly pullback and the 30-minute pullback could show us that there is a long possibility, right? So bi-hourly with an upside, I expect the same for the 4 hour. Yep, we have that upside. I just don't like that we're close enough to volatility here. That's the only thing I'm kind of worried about. but it seems to be wanting to approach it, right? So very nice, healthy upside pivots here on stochastics and RSI, so that's not bad at all. So let's see, this could be our secondary play to kind of look at, right? So actually, I'm gonna maybe just keep this in the watch list, but for sure the one that I'm looking at for tomorrow, guys, is ticker symbol SPWR, right? So that's going to be the Arca scan sticker for tonight. We're going to look at this one, and I'll make a video of it, right? And also I'll make a play out of it in the Discord. So if you guys are curious, go ahead and join up whenever you can, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and open up ticker symbol Mullen. Let's see what it's doing, because I know that thing has actually been ripping, right? So I'm not all too familiar with the price action for Mullen as of late, because I haven't actually really been keeping up with it, right? Because I mean, a lot of the times when I try to keep up with a ticker like that, some people would just be like, "What is it's going down? You said something and it's going to go opposing your way. You killed it. You're a short seller." So so sometimes when a ticker is capitulating, I have to actually keep my distance a little bit, even though I am an ambidextrous trader and I would straight up put a short play on it, but then the entire community would hate me to death, right? We're not going to do that. All right, you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at what Mullen is doing, right? So already, you guys, I would be very careful. 12-hour bearish engulfing here. So that usually plays daily bearish engulfing over in 13 minutes and 56 seconds, right? So this is looking like it could lead to another downside. But let me take a look at the oh man, okay, so in 1 day, 1 hour, the bi-daily iteration will close, and that would actually be a series of back-to-back-to-back bearish engulfings. Guys, take a look at this. My goodness, this is definitely like following some type of pattern here, right? So this is a bearish engulfing here. We have another one right over here, right? So this is another one right over here, these two candles. This is another one right over here, right? And we are in the process of potentially building another one right here. Okay, so this is quite bearish, right? So and if it could find an end, man, when you're talking about candle formations, there's no real objective behind this, right? So Indra saying, I don't trust Mullen, the Mullen rips anymore, right? So they just did. So DJ, moderator DJ is actually saying that Mullen actually just did a reverse split, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So that was a 1 to 25 RS. And that was just recently. And I wonder, so what, DJ, what was it, man? People don't want this? People didn't want, well, I mean, usually an RS is a kind of a negative thing for an asset, right? So now, historically speaking, I don't see, price action has never, ever been down this low. In fact, price action started making its new lows starting in 2015. Jeez. And this has actually been continuing on a series of lower lows. And now it's probably getting ready to print a macro one, right? So, and I just, let's go ahead and open up volatility and momentum. Let's see how far down we can actually go. When we don't have any historical supports or resistances, the only thing that we can kind of look at here would be geometrics. For example, we can look at the fibs, right? But let's just kind of put it under the table, open up the hood real quick and see what it's got. So, I mean, who knows? There could be something in line there, right? But again, just like, I mean, I have to kind of side with Indra here. I've kind of stayed away calling any type of moves here for Mullen, because they have been proven to be a little bit dangerous, right? So let me go to the shorter time frames. Let me look at the 8-hour. 8-hour time frame looking very promising. See, this type of thing, man, it looks like it could rip. It actually looks like it could actually make a nice upside move, right? So let me but the RSI is suggesting downside. Very curious. Let me go to the immediate short-term time frame, MULN, and see what it's got, right? So as far as the immediate short term, we have, let's see. Okay, so there is a very, I mean, I don't really like to look at supply and demand in 30 minutes, as not trustworthy enough, right? So you have a zone of about 136 to 139. The secondary zone would be right down here, located between 126 and 130. So remember, Mullen was like at 8 cents before this reverse split, right? So they're really trying to kind of stay above the waters here. Let me see this. Okay, so maybe on the hourly, it's building. See this, guys. This is very dangerous here. Okay, so this actually built a bear flag, and it is kind of realizing to the downside. Now the bear flag would have a take profit target at about 130. And that could be a zone to where things can get maybe recover here, right? But I can't say just recover because we are so deep in the water here, right? So but it could be a zone to kind of look at for a day trade or a scalp. Nothing major. So Cryptic Trader saying, Arca, let's see some big boy stocks like Tesla, Nvidia, Microsoft, Netflix. Those are absolutely a great idea. All right, you guys. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at for Mullen. Okay, you guys, wait for that drop. It looks like we could actually fall back down to the zone of about $1.30 before a move to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of as far as I can see things right now because because the RS and the capitulation kind of flashed momentum and everything. We need this thing to kind of rebalance itself and start to figure out what it wants to do, right? Because as of now, it looks like it's actually going to start doing these repeating bear flags, right? And usually bear flags last in cycles of about 3 to 4. So this would be this is what I'm looking at, right? Something like this right here. You have that bear flag there. You have another one kind of building over here, potential continuation to the downside, building a third one, and the third one can lead to a fourth, and that would be the end of it, right? So potentially reaching close to around that dollar zone once again before a bounce to the upside, as that would be a pretty it would be a pretty nice zone to get in since it's psychological, right? Breaking the dollar zone, not a good thing, right? So yeah, you know what, Cryptic Trader, let's go ahead and do that. Let's pull up our mega caps, right? Let's see what we have with or what's moving right now. Obviously, it's always a good thing to kind of look at Tesla, right? So I'm gonna open up a brand new chart and take a look at what TSLA is doing. In fact, I could actually open a buy pane here and have Tesla and let me see what Wes PLTR. What is PLTR again? That's not Peloton, right? Or what is it? I forgot what that one was. And DJ saying the QQQ, right? So yeah, actually, you know what? On my previous pane, I was actually looking at the SQQQ. And that is the inverse play, right? So I think it was, where was it? Yeah, right here. I was looking at the SQQQ, potentially finding a bottom soon. And we're right at the support of about 28.19, which means that the broader markets could face a pullback very soon. So puts can be on the table fairly soon, right? So the markets can face a pressure. And I'm wondering if there should be no reason, actually. So if actually SQQQ, can it continue to the downside here? Man, I don't know. We are at an inflection point right now, but we'll go ahead and take a look at it, right? Yeah, so you're totally looking at exactly what I'm talking about, right? So SQQQ would be longs, long calls, or QQQ would be long puts, right? So let me go back to that to this pane here, and I want to load up actually. Let's verse it. Let's verse it together. Let's see ticker symbol Tesla versus the QQQs, right? So if you guys are familiar with that, that's the NASDAQ ETF, right? So the Qs. And if some of these are dangerous, though, guys, you have to be very careful with these, right? So the TQQQ is actually the leveraged, the pro shares for, it's for the NASDAQ composite, right? So yeah, let me look at the daily in comparison to Tesla, right? So, and let me create a link between them. So interval and symbol, right? So let's go ahead and look at it like this, and screw it with the time too. Okay, so let me get the QQQ up here and see what's going on. Broader markets versus mega cap, right? So as you can see here, the patterns, man, come on. So, geez, Let's get the symbol out of the way and put over here the TSLA. And one more time, for the love of God, here we go. Okay, so the correlation is not bad, right? There has actually been a very interesting see this drop here. You can clearly see that we have that same type of movement, right? But it doesn't completely follow it all the way. It's not bad. QQQ looking like it actually could find a resistance touch between the range of about 330.08 and about 334.28. Right now, Tesla is looking like it would make a retracement alongside the QQQ. The correlation between 334.07 on the Qs with the 177.89 gap closing range, that would actually present a potential retracement opportunity, right? So if you can actually look at it just like this, 178.28 to the space of about, I would say at about 182.42, huge resistance here. I wouldn't say that it would pull back all the way to fail this, right? So I would actually see this as a natural pullback from an inflection point. And from that area, we can actually test our current highs of the space of about 173.94 to 170.99 before actually facing a continuation to the upside. In fact, I'm not even sure that I'm on log. Let me go ahead and just make sure that I can have that right there. All right, not a big difference whatsoever. Okay, so let me go ahead and load up here volatility. Let's see if we have any retracements happening soon-ish, right? So critical volatility here on the Qs, and we're increasing volatility too. Okay, so let's put this to the top side, and I actually want to see the volatility of Tesla too, right? So the broader markets are showing a little bit of weakness, but remember, guys, I'm not looking at this as kind of a overly bearish thing. This could be a very short-lived pullback, and it could be I'm not joking. Okay, don't get overly bearish on this, okay, because we're still creating a series of higher highs and higher low structure here, right? So that could be just a short-term pullback before. Let's see, man, we didn't even cover this gap down here. We went 146.82. That's a huge bearish thing, though. Retracement back from this area from about, I'd say, topside 182.42 and stochastic momentum. Let's see what it's got to say for us, right? So this is actually giving us a pretty nice read right now. We have an upside pivot here. This is likely to continue to the upside. So the shorter time frames should give us that short-term pullback, right? So let's go ahead and look at that now. Let's go ahead and just lift it just a little bit, and let me have the RSI in here as well for Tesla, right? So yeah, this could actually present a very nice little scalp here, potentially betting the downside, right? So you can see the RSI TSLA finding that resistance from that 14-day simple moving average, very likely to actually come back down temporarily. Let's see the hourly time frames on both of them, right? So I actually didn't load up my let me at least keep the RSI up, right? So hourly time frame Qs showing a downside, and that could actually pressure the overall markets down, right? So a little bit of consolidation here on the hourly Tesla. 4-hour time frame showing that we can have that pullback, right? So this is what I'm talking about here. If we do have a pullback, it is likely to happen after a shorter term upside. So let's see the 30-minute once again. I'm not sure that we can actually reach that top side, guys, of about 178. If we do, it would be incredibly miraculous, right? But there is another zone to kind of look at in the shorter time frame, and I would give it right here. Okay, so just around this area here, 174.60 to 176.09, looking at the immediate short-term retracement, right? Potential touch, a resistance touch right at that 174.63 before we can come back down temporarily, right? So 6-hour time frame Tesla looking like it's a little frothy, right? Showing a little bit of weakness too, which is honestly bleeding from the 4 hour, since the 4 hour does have that downside too. Let's see. 8-hour Tesla, let's see what it's got, man. It's still a little bit of an upside, a little frothy, you guys. So yeah, it would be very ideal for this to find some type of reaccumulation the bulls are starting to kind of lose that control. And not only that is that we're now getting a little bit of decreased volume on the 8-hour time frame. So that's usually indicative of some weakness coming in the markets. But it doesn't, like I said, guys, it doesn't look like it's a capitulation type thing. And the Qs could actually retrace back to, first of all, that area of about 322.23. So if you are going to be short the market, Qs would actually present a very short-term downside with a range of about 322, I would say, to about 318.93. Okay, so that's already a pretty nice move considering that the valuation is above $300, right? So, and yeah, leading into the 12-hour, that's where the upside kind of is showing for Tesla, right? So we have a very short-lived downside before a continuation to the upside here, okay, you guys? So obvious areas to kind of look at for retracements and very short-term retracements would be that zone of about 174.60 to 176, and the secondary area of resistance 178 to 182. All right, you guys. So that's kind of gonna do it for Tesla and the Qs, right? So we can see a little bit of weakness coming in, and you can see it on the SPY today too. The SPY has literally been lingering around that 412. It doesn't actually get out of that. Let's see. So Veri, right? So we were looking at Veri the other day. I'm sorry, we were looking at Veri just a little bit earlier today. I was expressing that actually. Let's see, how low did it go? Let me go back to the daily here, right? So we have a low of 88.50, right? So I was saying that if we can get this thing down to about 85 to, man, I don't know if we can reach that 70 level, right? So 85 to about 78, that would be really great for the bulls to actually reaccumulate and then kind of start making the new higher high, right? So Veri is I mean, it's still looking bullish as all hell, right? So this is a huge upside. Daily time frame showing that weakness, right? So let's go ahead and look at that 3-day or bi-daily. Actually, that's already too far. So bi-daily, here you go. Check it out, you guys. Bi-daily could be at that support, right? Even though it's crossing below the 14-day simple, you have to notice that we are in the gravitational zone. So this could be finding a very limited downside before a continuation to the upside. Right, so that's kind of what I'm looking at for that. It's not bad whatsoever. All right, guys. So COEP actually made 160. Look at that. Let's go back to COEP and see what it's got. Man, my goodness, look at this. It actually on the TradingView algorithm reached 157. Very impressive. We are in that gravitational zone. We were right down here at about 58%. Remember, so I mean now this is I assume that COEP is now closed, right? I don't think it actually has. Yeah, it doesn't have the after hours, right? So this thing has made a very nice upside, and it looks like it's actually going to continue too. So let's go to the 12-hour. Upside pivot on that 12-hour, 8-hour upside pivot RSI. Man, upside pivot in literally every single time frame. This is likely to continue to the upside even beyond tomorrow. Wow. Yeah, damn. Okay, so 160. So we were looking at that potential touch of 159 before a retracement, right? So let's go back to that daily. We were just looking at that retracement zone. So it kind of happened, right around there. The good thing is that we're closing right upside of the 155. So, or at the 155. So that's literally the same support that we were talking about, right? So if we can continue on to the upside here, based on all the momentum timeframes, this, man, yeah. Like I said, you guys, please remember, just try to minimize your risk. Sometimes it's sometimes you can have an entry like at 180 or something, and you can look at yourself as a potential. Am I at the wrong side of the V? Meaning that price action went all the way to the downside, and then when it starts recovering, it actually may have further upside than the 180, right? Meaning that your 180 would be here, and your price action surpasses that and ends up going again to that 210 zone. Then you were always, kind of cover in the wrong side of the V. Right, so it closed at, looks like we closed at 153. Very, very healthy for this asset. I like it. Oh my goodness. I know a lot of people ended up getting a little trapped in this, right, because of that downside. But huge accumulation period at that 104. But yeah, likely to continue to the upside for the next day. So this is looking nice, nice, nice. COSM made a nice upside too. What? Not bad, not bad. Let's see. So hold on just a sec. Somebody actually was talking about that ticker the other day to me too, Andrew. You were looking at what was it? It was actually my moderator, Cal. Cal L, right? He was looking at ticker symbol ILAG, and I must admit, I actually never got into, kind of evaluating that ticker. First of all, because I was in like several other plays. But if we're looking at some very obvious things here, then yeah, this thing either had back-to-back falling wedges, or there could be one massive channel here, right? So let's go ahead and just kind of look at this real fast for you, right? So something like this right here, to where we used, actually it would be a shorter time frame. It would be around here, right? And then we used that that zone for as a resistance touch, support touch, right over here. So this is actually breaking out very prematurely too. Let me see if I can kind of massage the lines here just a little bit, right? So yeah, it would actually be something like this here, right? So just like this, and so that would be 1, 2. It's never a good thing to break out on this test, right? So it's not to say that it doesn't happen. It's just that usually test number 3 leads to the biggest capitulation. So let me bring up actually some tools here and see what it's got. So I know a lot of people were actually talking about this, right? So, and then also you guys will obviously, right, we'll look at that COSM ticker, right? So let's just pull it up in a new chart. I'm going to go back to the other ticker now though, okay? So I'm just going to leave this here to remind me. 332 obviously bounced, right? So where did it bounce from? Of course, 309. So around that 301 to 297 is a pretty nice area that we've used for huge upsides, right? But yeah, considering ILAG, let's go ahead and pull up some tools here and see what we could come up with, right? So already on the daily, of course, we had a kind of a red day, right? So this can continue to the downside based on the momentum indicator. But let me get something a little more reactive, right? So it looks like the daily time frame could be coming to a very short-lived downside. Okay, so let's look at this from the shorter time frames and see what we have. I'm going to even put up some averages and see what we kind of what we can get creative with here, right? So let's look at the 30-minute here. We have consolidation, upside pivot. Okay, so that could be corrective already. Bi-hourly time frame upside pivot, we have critical volatility now expanding, right? So it looks like there could be an influx of buying pressure, since we could be at some type of relevant support. All right, so now let's continue on the analysis. Remember that your leading indicator on your stochastic momentum is the 3-day exponential, right? So this is very likely to influence your 14-day simple later on. There is on the 6-hour time frame some very weak downside pressures, which could be indicative of floor being found around nowish, right? So and that is kind of in relevance to that breakout, right? So 8-hour time frame, finding that support from the SMA 100 at 123, clearly upside of that even still, right? So now, as you can see, the 8-hour time frame is where we're seeing the weakness. So what we really need, my battle, what is up, my dude? yes, I'm live, man. I'm actually trying to make that thing happen for the community, man. Trying to come in earlier, right? So at least we were able to get to look at some tickers and stuff, and we're going to be looking at COSM right next, looking very nice, right? So thank you so much for that, Dono, my battle. Good to see you here. All right, you guys. So yeah, so as you can see here on the 8-hour time frame is where you're actually seeing the weakness, right? So this means that the shorter time frame, starting from the 6-hour all the way down to the 30-minute, these would be the time frames to influence the upper time frames, like the 8-hour, right? So that would be kind of an ideal situation. We want that cascading effect, right? So the 30-minute dragging into that bi-hourly into the 6 and 8-hour, and then the 8-hour would bleed into the 12 and daily, right? So we want that kind of a domino effect to happen, so that we can continue getting this upside, right? So Hopi, I'm seeing lower lows on GTI, loving every second of it. Trust me when I say that a lot of people actually are, even though they are in the negative, right? as this is presenting a pretty nice zone to get long, right? So yet again, oh man. So, oh, by the way, on GTII, I did get my preferred units, so I'm very happy about that. It actually took forever to get them from TradeStation, but I got them, and they're just sitting there. I'm just gonna leave that position there to do whatever it's gonna do, right? It's a very tiny position, but it's there. All right, you guys. So, yeah. So for ILAC, that's what we're waiting for, you guys. Let's see if we can continue the upside and let it bleed into the 8 hour, right? So this, I'm not saying that it's going to be a parabolic move to the upside. In fact, it's going to be kind of a balanced one. Let's see the daily time frame supports here, right? So, okay, very good. We have the daily time frame, SMA 10 already converted into a support. So this is good. We, in fact, use the SMA 50 as a very nice bounce to the upside here, too. Okay, you guys? So I like it. I like it. We have the SMA 100 to combat here, but that's not to say that we can't beat it. It's just going to be a little bit of a tough area. You can see right over here on the 12 hour that we use that SMA 100 as a resistance. Huge indecision doji on that 12 hour, right? So there is currently that's why I'm saying, guys, it's going to be a slow mover to the upside, but it's looking not bad. All right, so now COSM, let's see what it's got, man. COSM making a very nice upside. And please remember, guys, that it usually happens from right around that zone, right? So Stick Vicious saying got stuck in a space chat. My dude, man, I didn't expect you to leave that, right? I know that you also support the communities in that side of the deal too, right? So it's quite okay. So Nicholas, what's up, man? GBXX? Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to look at it, right? So let's just go ahead and kind of take a look at COSM for now. But yeah, dude, let me put it up for you, man. I know that I think I saw you asking for it a couple times, right? So yeah, let me do that for you, brother. So GBXX, right? So GBXX, let's see what it's got for us. And actually, let me check in with my toddler, right? I know the guy's probably he's still kind of sleeping right now, you guys. So I just got up a little bit earlier so that I can, stream to the markets here before we close. Right. So, oh my goodness, my little guy is awake. So my time is a little bit limited here, you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, did I even click on the right ticker here? No, that's not it. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, is it actually that ticker, Nicholas? Is it GBXXY? Is that what it is? Grand Bay Oxen or whatever auto group? Is that what you're looking at, my bro? I'm not even sure if that's actually what it is, right? Because or did you type it like that? No, you typed in GBXX. So Nicholas, please let me know, brother. Is that in fact what I'm looking at? The OTC? Oh, BG. Sorry. Got it. Got it. Okay, so BGXX, and that is the NASDAQ ticker, right? Okay, cool. So, all right. Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on just a sec on this. We'll look at this, right? So this is usually kind of a bearish signal, right? So this is pretty much indicative of a bear flag. Okay, so not really a bear flag. It's just a continuation, a symmetrical triangle after a downtrend is a continuation formation that usually leads to a downside. Right, so yeah, Opium saying, Arca, you're the YouTube's stock whisperer, man. Oh, goodness gracious. So, and Nicholas, check it out. Nicholas is writing some details regarding BGXX, right? So let's look at COSM. Let's go. I've been actually looking at GTII on and off, right? So please remember that I was actually talking about GTII finding the bottom at... Where are we? Here it is, right? So let's see what that downside led to today. So 120, it's still within that that support range, right? So remember 121 to about 130. 121 to 130 is that support range. So it looks like we want to fail it though. Okay, so what I did mention here is that failing that with at least 8 hour or 12 hour candle would lead to the downside, and that would be 108 to 118, right? So right about here, very close to what we've actually reached, right? I'm sorry, a low of 109 today. So let's see, today it hit 117. Let me go back to the daily. I'm sorry, we'll catch on COSM right now. Let's see. It's showing that it reached a 109. Literally, I was talking about 108 bounce. So we have a huge bounce from that 108. So this, could we be repairing here? Man, actually not a bad thing to look at, right? So yeah, this, I wasn't expecting the 108 to touch today, right? So but it actually did 109. Still with a downside on the daily. Let's see. Oh goodness gracious, yeah, man, people were actually looking, they were hunting for that target. I spoke about it on Friday with that long video. So 30-minute RSI still suggesting a massive downside. Let's see, the bi-hourly downside, even still, I want to find a support. I want to find to see where this can end. And actually, since the 6-hour, 8-hour, all of these time frames are still suggesting a downside, that's likely because we're so flashed, right? Huge dead cat bounce on that 12-hour, right? So let's look at the daily downside still. Where can we find the support? That is incredible. My goodness. Okay, so since we can't see it on the RSI, we can actually, we can potentially bring up that Gaussian channel, right? I want to see how low we are in relevance to this channel here. So let me see the 5-day and even all the way to the 12-hour. I don't care, but I'm not going to pass the 8-hour Gaussian channel, as that's okay. All right. So the bi-daily Gaussian channel, 23 hours and 44 minutes to close. Okay, my goodness gracious. Okay, if we can actually reach the liquidity for that, guys, expect a touch. Yeah, still that 108 to 103 would be the very bottom side of that overall support range, right? So just like this, and we already touched the top side of it today. Right, so last on Friday I was looking at 108 because of these here, right, and with a failure of that 121. So if we can actually find another touch of this, sure, it could be the bottom side of the Gaussian channel at about 103. So let me get the Gaussian channel out of the way, and I actually want to see what the reversion variant is telling us. So let's see if we have a bottom side of the, yeah, we're at the bottom side of the Bollinger Bands right now with a mean at the bi-daily at about 170. So that could be a very nice bounce to the upside. Let's see the 12-hour to see, it's penetrating it. Man, my goodness. The bi-daily looks very nice on that though. So even the daily is actually moving below that. Oh, the saving grace here is the bi-daily, meaning that we can be lingering around these lows for the next, I'd say, 2 to 4 days, if sentiment doesn't already feel like we can actually push to the upside, right? So let's see, GTI may be heading back to 70 cents. Damn, that would if it did do that, it's not gonna last there for more than freaking 5 minutes. If it wicks to 70 cents, trust me, my dude, that will probably launch. Not financial advice, but usually when you're looking at an asset sitting at about a plus $1, plus 120, capitulates to 70 cents, not likely for it to last there for long. That's a discount that's never going to maintain. Just like the 45 cent, man. That was immediately rejected. Look at this. It's just parabolic move to the upside. That's just, it's too nice. Even the 70, look at this. It just rejected and exploded, right? So if it did reach that low, man, I would actually encourage it. And in fact, it would put everyone in the green. Of course, not everyone, right? Because we have some people holding above the $4 range, above the $3 range. So it's a little crappy, right? But yeah, it would at least put a lot of the longs into a better situation, right? So that may be what we need. Yeah, probably. Actually, it really is that way, guys. Like usually the parabolic runs to the upsides, they're all followed by a capitulation. You do kind of have to get this massive downside before a huge up run, right? And that may be what we're looking at from here to here, right? So I don't know, but we will definitely keep an eye on it. Another thing to kind of keep a lookout for is, I don't mean to be overly bearish here, but I just want to point this out because I didn't catch it before, right? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but there is a small gap over here between the area of 86 and 90 cents. Again, I'm not sure that we can reach that low, but we're already penetrating. We're already kind of penetrating this here. We're creating now a lower low. So this, it could be indicative of a continuation to the downside, but it really depends on the sentiment, the psychology. If they don't want to let it drop below the area of 108 or 103, then it may very well never touch these targets here, right? So as a lot of the times the people holding versus the people trying to short, I mean, there are more people holding, right? So sometimes that's the price is going to find a medium, is going to find a balance and a zone to where it's not going to move from, right? So yeah, GTII is looking still like it has some things to figure out down there, right? So anyway, guys, let me look at COSM real quick and call it a day, right? So COSM is, man, this is incredible. Coming down from 307 to about, what was the high of today? 335. That's very impressive. That's very impressive. Okay, so let's load up some tools here and see what we got in store for the asset, right? So we're at critical volatility, and we've been there for a while, guys. Since, I mean, I'm talking about April 10th. We've been below the critical band on the daily, and this is indicative of a move to the upside. It's just, what is the actual catalyst that we're waiting for, right? So similar to GTII, it's just kind of waiting for that extra push to really meet the statistics, right? So in this zone here, please notice that we're already getting that uptick on the daily. If we're getting an uptick on the 3-day exponential, this means that the shorter time frames may actually have an upside below this. So look at this, 12-hour. Yeah, we're starting to get that nice uptick on both of the time frames. Okay, critical volatility, right? Let's go to the 8-hour. We should have a bigger upside. All right, so 14-day simple upside. We're balanced on that EMA 3. Okay, so we want the EMA 3 to lead the way. And the let's see, the 6-hour time frame barely curving to the upside, but it is curving, right? So that's something to kind of look out for. So yeah, all the lower time frames are looking pretty nice right now, right? So EMA 3 crossing above the SMA 14, very bullish, critical volatility here, and it looks like we're increasing volatility. That means more shares traded. All right, so that's good. That's good. Let's look at the hourly time frame. Hourly time frame bullish as all hell, right? Volatility definitely increasing. So it is looking like the shorter time frames are going to be the influencers here for the upside, for the upper time frames, right? So you have your 30-minute upside pivot, right? You have your hourly upside pivot, bi-hourly upside pivot, and it looks like it's starting to bleed into the 4-hour. Okay, so these time frames here could have enough thrust for the 4 and 6 hour to be influenced. The 4 and 6 could have enough for the 8 and 12, and and so on. We want that cascading effect, you guys. So this, yeah, COSM looks like it could be trying to reach for new highs fairly soon. And always there's a lot of shorts in this play too, right? So that sometimes the shorts can kind of cover just to gain liquidity from the longs and then trap them again at about the range of about, let's see, around 339. That's an inflection zone, right? So I would see the top side of about 357. So we have to look out for those targets. We need to make sure that we can kind of combat them. Stick vicious. Multiple catalysts between now and May 15th. That's what I keep hearing. Oh my goodness. Guys, COSM, I mean, I've mentioned it before, right? So, and actually I did mention it like a month ago. So, I mean, we've been consolidating. There's a chop zone. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the asset. It just means that we're in an accumulation period waiting for a catalyst. So as soon as we get that good news catalyst, guys, it's going to be over, man. This thing has the potential to launch, and it's similar. GTII is a little bit bigger, right? But similar to GTII, where we don't know how parabolic this thing can go, because a lot of the times you have some serious short positions with illegal shares, right? So there's no telling how high this thing can actually go, right? But on the 4-hour time frame, what I am looking at here is that we have a clear break of market structure, right? So we're getting a series of higher highs already, okay? But in the macro perspective, you still have to kind of look at it like this, right? You still have to kind of look at it as creating a series of lower highs, right? So, but still, in the shorter time frame, there could be an influx of buying activity, and this is what we are looking for, right? Another way that we can kind of see this is actually looking at the stochastic momentum versus money flow index, right? SMI, MFI indicator, and you can clearly see that we're getting an influx of buying pressure right here. The histogram in the back is the money flow index itself, right? So we're starting to get those blue bars here on that 4 hour. So clearly on the bi-hourly and definitely on the hourly, right? So definitely getting that upside pivot here. Money flow is actually the disbursement of returns is favoring the incoming return. Okay, so this is looking not bad. Rocket Lock, thank you so much for your donation, dude. That really means a lot. Thank you so much. Yeah. We're just chopping around, Stig. And Rocket Lock saying Monday earnings, COSM and Cana acquisition to follow with the share buyback program. Wow. CANA is doing a share buyback. Those are the catalysts that I look for, you guys, like that. Acquisitions, partnerships, mergers, share buybacks, forced share recalls, change of management, things of that nature, right? So I don't usually look at 8K filings, 10Ks. I don't usually look at those things. I look at more major catalysts, which are far in between, right, and few. Right, so yeah, COSM looking healthy as ever. I do expect these shorter time frames, the shorter time frame momentum versus volatility to start impacting the upper time frames, right? So as far as an upside target, you guys please remember, we still have some serious inflection points to kind of get over here. On the hourly time frame, 338 would be one, right? Tiny little candle there that has a lot of correlation with many other targets here. But if we were to look at this on the 4 hour, get rid of our moving averages and kind of put a fib to the range high to the range low of the day today, that could give us kind of a clear indication over where this can potentially be, right? So something like this, 377 located very similarly to the zone that we were talking about on the daily, right? 375. So if we can make that move to the upside, guys, we have to combat $3.51 at the 1 spot 618. The 1 spot 618 and the 2 fib would be that area of resistance to really get over here. Okay, so if we can make it upside of that, close a minimum 4 hour candle upside of that, then the continuation to about 368 or 367 is imminent, and it is showing in the volatility versus momentum profile. In fact, also in the stochastics versus money flow. So yeah, you guys, this is looking pretty nice. I would keep an eye on COSM, put it on your watch list, and but yeah, you guys, so I actually have to cut out just a little bit earlier here. It is my son's already awake, so I have to make sure to go and take a look at him. He's actually been having some issues with the iron intake, right? You guys, if you guys know my story, you know my story, right? My little boy, he suffers of low iron, right? Of low hemoglobin. So we have to give him iron supplements, and that creates constipation, right? So he's only 3 years old. So it creates constipation, and now like he's so afraid of like pooping because like he's probably going to poop a meteorite or something, right? Poor little guy. So he'll refrain from it, and then he'll just let out these little bursts and stuff, and that kind of irritates his butt. So that's what I'm dealing with, okay, you guys? I'm being as transparent as I can be. It's not that I want to leave. It really is because my little boy needs daddy, and he needs some help and some assistance, right? But I really appreciate everybody for coming by today. Stick Vicious, thank you so much for your dono, my brother. And but guys, please expect, man, I appreciate you, DJ, moderator DJ. Always good to see you here. Aiden Davis saying great father. Man, my bro, you're a great dude for even acknowledging that, dude. I hope to be a good dad to him. So Indra H saying family first. That is always the case, you guys. I'm very, very, very lucky to have all of you come by, right? So, thank you, Casey. Is that really something I should look into? Magnesium citrate, okay, or citrate, sorry, and it's natural, okay. All right, so I'm not sure if I can get it on Amazon or whatever, but I do have a Trader Joe's near me too. Maybe I can get it there. Thank you for all you do for me, my bro, Aiden Davis. You know I always got you, dude. So you're talking about laxatives. It is like for toddlers. I'm gonna look at the age. Well, there's probably different ones, right? Made for kids too. Thank you, Casey. That really means a lot, my friend. So I'll take a look at that magnesium for sure and get my little guy situated. Thank you, you guys. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna try to release a GTI video. I'm gonna try to release the. Remember that the ticker that I'm looking at for a play tomorrow is gonna be SPWR. So I'll go ahead and look at this ticker and put up Arca scans play for the coming days, right? And see if we can get the week moving. All right, you guys. But with that said, I very, very much wish everybody a very good night. And I will catch all of you at the bell mañana. Thanks, guys. I'll see ya.